Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome in to another edition of New Waverly Bulldog Baseball. We are live tonight on the road here at Anderson-Shiro, and a big thank you to everybody for joining us here on the SHN Sports YouTube channel. As always, be sure to let us know that you're out there. The Bulldog fan text line is open at 512-522-9105. Again, that number, 512-522-9105. You can also comment in on the YouTube feed as well. We'd love to hear from you tonight. Well, let's dig into it. This one tonight means a little more. The New Waverly Bulldogs back here on the road taking on the Anderson-Shiro Fighting Owls. And, friends, we are down the stretch. This is not just another district game here in 23-3A. It's a response game with real implications at the top of the district. And a response game tonight for Anderson-Shiro, who we'll talk about in a moment. New Waverly got off to a fantastic start on Tuesday, a 5-0 early start in the first inning, as the Bulldogs never looked back in an 8-1 upset victory. And you think about New Waverly walking into that game as what many considered an underdog and walked out with a statement, an 8-1 victory. They didn't just beat this Fighting Owl team, they controlled the game from start to finish. And they built that lead early. Staying consistent was the key, and then held one of the most explosive offenses in district to just one run. You know, we talked about that game that Anderson-Shiro had only allowed 13 total runs in district play. New Waverly more than half of that in one night. And that result really changed everything here in the district play, because if we look at it coming in tonight, Anderson-Shiro, they are still 7-1 in district, tied for first. New Waverly sits right behind them at 6-2. And so the stakes in this one tonight, very simple as we dig this one apart. A Bulldogs win tonight. They pull even in the standings, and they take control in that head-to-head tiebreaker versus Anderson-Shiro. But there is another layer to this tonight. Onalaska, they are sitting at 7-1. Of course, they beat New Waverly 2-0. And that means the Bulldogs don't fully control their own destiny for a district title. They're going to need a little bit of help, and they can handle their business, but they're still going to need Onalaska to do a couple of things. New Waverly can put themselves in a position, though, with the win here tonight. Anderson-Shiro is trying to protect their position that they currently hold, and Onalaska is watching all of it. They know that they've got Cold Spring. That's coming up tonight, and on paper, that should be a Onalaska win, although they barely scathed by them on Tuesday. I believe it was like a 6-5 victory. Let me go back and look at this. Yeah, a 6-5 victory versus Cold Spring Oakhurst. And that's a team that New Waverly took care of pretty handedly. And so anything's still possible here in the district. All of the implications coming in and thoughts about these teams really been thrown out the window. Onalaska, as we know, beating New Waverly twice, and that does kind of shake things up a little bit. But, as I said, New Waverly's got an opportunity here. And so here's where things could get described. As we talk about this matchup tonight, both teams can score and score fast, although New Waverly kind of disgruntled that statement on Tuesday night versus Anderson-Shiro. They came in putting up big numbers all district long with 18 runs, 22 runs in games, and they get rolling. They can stack those runs in a hurry. New Waverly, though, they've shown the same ability against some other teams in district play. 22 runs in one game, 18-1, multiple double-digit performances. And when the Bulldogs get momentum, they can flip a game in one inning, as we saw just on Tuesday night. But that's what made that 8-1 victory really stand out. New Waverly taking the offense away. They controlled the tempo. They limited opportunities, and they really avoided getting into big innings, and that's what you have to do to beat a team like the Anderson-Shiro Fighting Owls. And so now the question is this tonight. Was that an upset, or was it potentially a shift? If New Waverly does it again, the district race opens all the way up. But if Anderson-Shiro responds at home, they take back control and remind everyone why they've been near the top all season long. Either way, folks, it doesn't matter what all that says, because we're here tonight and we are about to get started here in beautiful Anderson, Texas, just off the campus of Anderson-Shiro High School right behind us. A beautiful field here, and we'll talk more about the setup and the weather as the coaches are meeting right now over at home plate there in the apron. For now, though, we'll take a break. We'll be back in a few moments. Stay with us. It's New Waverly Bulldog Baseball, and we're about to get started here on a Friday night in East Texas. We'll be back in a moment. Back at it, friends. New Waverly Bulldog baseball about to get started as the first pitch scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight. We are on the road here in Anderson, Texas. Again, thanks for hanging out with us. A little bit of rain, just a few drops came across the windshield as we made our way in a little bit earlier this afternoon, but things have all cleared out. The cloud cover remains to some degree, but rain should not be a factor in this one here tonight. What could be a factor, though, the wind is starting to pick up. 79 degrees here in Anderson, that humidity at 83. And here's where the wind get interesting, blowing from the south at 15, gusting to 22 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, a cold front rolling through the area. It won't be a factor here tonight, though. Things will remain mostly cloudy, and as the sun sets here in just a few moments, we'll get down to the upper 60s. So a great night for baseball, but again, that wind is kind of blowing out there off of left, center to left, and we'll see if some hits can get out over there tonight. We'll have your starting lineups here in just a few moments, but continuing to set up the field for you, the corners here at Anderson-Shiro at 315, both left and right. At left center at 360, also at right center at 360, and then 390 straight away on the high wall. The American flag out there at left blowing in the wind. A beautiful night for baseball again here. Well, your starting lineups tonight, as New Waverly currently being called out there, we'll go over them for you. It will be Colin Conover, the second baseman, number 5. Behind him, the shortstop, number 12, Jace Card. The catcher, number 18, Max Tomczak. That's your 1, 2, and 3 for the Bulldogs here tonight on the road. And in the heart of that order at 4, 5, and 6, the first baseman, Action Jackson Hathorn. Number 7, Otto Wineland, the center fielder, wearing number 6. And then batting 6, the left fielder, number 1, Daniel Nixon. And to round out the bottom 3 for New Waverly tonight, the third baseman, number 13, Jace Wells. The right fielder, number 3, Ryzen Nunez. And the pitcher tonight for your Bulldogs getting the start on the bump will be number 11, Peyton Rayleigh. So again, Conover, Card, Tomczak, Hathorn, Wineland, Nixon, and then Wells, Nunez, and Rayleigh to round it out for New Waverly. As we talked about, Rayleigh getting the start tonight, 27 innings pitched. He's played in 7 games, started 6 of those, facing 139 batters, 467 total tosses thrown. Lost 4, he saved 1. And we'll see how he fares tonight. A great young man on this team, allows 27 hits, 29 runs on those 27 hits. And out of those runs, 21 of them were earned. He's walked 23, struck out 19. And that'll put him in an ERA of 5.4 and just a little bit more. But a 1.85 whip for Peyton Rayleigh. So that is how things look. And we're excited to see him back out there tonight in this pivotal game for the district crown. Still, though, New Waverly's going to have a little bit of help from Onalaska. Starting tonight for Anderson-Shiro, 1, 2, and 3. The pitcher gets the start tonight, number 7, Kieran Gill. Batting second, the center fielder, number 1, Davin Bialis. And batting third, the third baseman, number 3, Aiden Moyers. In the heart of the order at the 4, 5, and 6, the first baseman, number 17, Logan Jackson. The designated hitter tonight, number 12, Dakota Wisniewski. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 5, Ty Steffen. And then the 7, 8, and 9, it's the second baseman, number 4, Hunter Heaton, followed by the catcher, number 10, Dalton Shashelski. And then batting ninth, but certainly last, but certainly not least, number 9, the right fielder, Brandon Berger. So again, Gill, Bialis, Moyers, Jackson, Wisniewski, Steffen, Heaton, Shashelski, and Berger. We'll go down to the field now for our country's national anthem. First pitch coming up. Stay with us here from Anderson-Shiro. beautiful playing of our country's national anthem. We'll take this brief moment while Gil gets some warm-up pitches there on the bump to thank our sponsors. Coverage this season has been made possible in part by our friends at the Oak Ridge Disciple House. The Oak Ridge Disciple House with Joshua Harris is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men who are 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. More information is online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. A big thank you to our great friend Joshua Harris of the Oak Ridge Disciple House. He has supported, and Oak Ridge have supported, every single New Waverly broadcast, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, since we started many years ago. And so a big thank you again to our friend Joshua Harris for his support. Hey, do us a favor again. Let us know you're out there tonight. You can always text us on the fan text line at 512-522-9105. Again, that number's 512-522-9105. Or you can comment in on the YouTube feed. I know many people are there as well. Big thank you to Ty Stutler for helping us with camera again tonight. Also, Tate is back as he is helping us with equipment and helping us get things loaded up and set up. Couldn't do it without those two guys either. It is a beautiful night for baseball here. The lights are on. Sun will not be a problem. There's plenty of cloud cover that is covering up the sun. It's going to set here in the next 15 to 20 anyways, right behind us. And we are just shy of the home plate here at the backstop. A beautiful setup here for us on this great field tonight. We're looking forward to New Waverly continuing what they did on Tuesday in that 8-1 victory. Remember, they got out to an early lead, 5-0. That one run by Anderson-Shiro coming late. New Waverly controlling the tempo, and the pitching was just absolutely off the charts for Brett Levi in that ball game for New Waverly, and we'll see how they respond or how they continue the momentum here tonight. Not respond, we'll see how Anderson-Shiro responds in this one here tonight. Again, teams getting those warm-up pitches out there right now is Kieran Gill. And out of everything that I had, somehow I misplaced my card from Tuesday night, and so I don't have a lot to look back upon, and I apologize for that. But here we go. About to get started is Colin Conover, patiently waiting. He'll lead off tonight for New Waverly. New Waverly comes in again, 2 losses, 6-2 in district, but ready to make some moves here. As I mentioned, Colin Conover leading off, 17 games played. He's had 60 appearances, 44 at-bats. He's on base at .483, 13 hits on the year. He has singled 11 times, doubled twice, and we would love for him to pick up his 12th single here. 15 runs for this young man, 16 walks. He's been struck out 9 times. And here he is for New Waverly, Colin Conover, as we get started a little bit late at 7:02. The first pitch is on the way and swung on here and fouled off the bat. And the early count will be 0-1. Colin led off, singled on Tuesday night, eventually came around and scored on the Max Tomczak RBI. Max was out over at second. Currently in an 0-1. Here's the next pitch to the outside to even us up. Good eye. It's 1-1. Colin Conover. New Waverly, of course, in their maroon jerseys, the numbers in white. White pants, pinstriped in maroon. The nice New Waverly maroon Bulldog helmets they're wearing tonight. Conover with that right foot low in the box. Here's the pitch. A little close, but he was hanging over the plate. Strike called. It's 1-2. Gill set to deliver here. Here's the 1-2. Dropped in, and the 10th strikeout of the season on Colin Conover as he looked at that one coming across. So 1 up, 1 down will bring up the shortstop, the battle warrior for this team, none other than Jace Card. So Card makes his way in. I know these guys. He gives a little fist bump to Dalton Shashelski. Jace Card in his 24th game, 76 plate appearances. Here's the first pitch. Just in there for the strike. It's 0-1. 60th at bat. He's on base at 427. 17 hits on this season, 15 of those single, 2 doubles. He's brought in 20 runs for Jace Card. He'd love to get his 21st here at this at bat. The next one just out of his reach. The count at 1-1. We'll get that scoreboard going for you here in just a few moments too. Thank you for your patience on that. So we are 1 away. 1-1 count here to Jace Card. As he called time for a moment, now steps back into the right box. Here's Gill set to deliver from the left hand. This one chopped over the third base line, takes a roll, trying to beat it out, and he's going to get there. So 1-out single for Jace Card. And New Waverly with a little bit of momentum here early.
Card with the infield single. That brings the plate number 18, Max Tomczak.
18 hits now on the season for Jace, and that'll take us to a left-handed batter from the left-handed pitching of Gill. It's the catcher, Max Tomczak. So Tomahawk Tomczak ready to get started here for New Waverly. The wind gusting out there over at left. Card quickly waltzes his way back over to the first base. Again, Gill on the bump. Shashelski, the catcher. Over at first is Logan Jackson. Hunter Heaton at second. Aiden Moyers at third. The shortstop, number 5, Ty Steffen. From left to right, Jet Bay, Davin Bialis, and Brandon Berger. Here's the pitch. Boy, that one was close. And on a wild pitch, Jace Card will advance over to second, and it's a 1-0 count here to Tomczak. So now New Waverly in scoring position with 1 out here, the count at 1-1. We are underway here in the first. Tomczak will step out of the left box for just a moment, taps the bat to the plate, swings it around a couple of times, and now he's set, ready to go. Gill takes a look over his left shoulder at second a couple of times. Here's the left-handed pitch. And this one on a passed ball will reach Card over to third. So the peanut butter jar opening up a little bit early tonight here. And Shashelski, that one not able to hold on to it in his glove. And so Jace Card now over there at third, and Tomczak is in a 2-0. A hit here for New Waverly would surely score. Anything deep out would also bring one in on a sac fly. Here's the 2-0. We'll change up here just to the inside. And Tomczak well ahead here at 3-0, so he'll have his opportunities. This is where New Waverly needs to capitalize. They did it at home. And the count at 2-1. He needs to be more clear with that call. 2-1 is the count. So that last one was a strike call. Wasn't very clear on that. He actually took his hand and made it sound like it was to the inside. Here's the 2-1, swung on, this one drops. Cook the stakes, baby. New Waverly gets the first ribeye of the game, the first run. And how about that? They pick up where they left off just a couple of days ago as Jace Card comes in to score, and Tomahawk Tomczak with the RBI single. So bust out the charcoal, the steaks cooking early here on the ribeyes. And our good buddy Trevor Tredarski will come in to run over at first.
Tomczak singles to left. That brings the plate number 7, Jackson Hawthorne.
And now here's action Jackson Hathorn cleaning up as we go back to a right-handed batter. It's a 1-0 New Waverly lead. One away, here's the pitch. Swung and a miss. 0-1 on action Jackson. Remember, he had the RBI double back on Tuesday, coming in and scoring the third run on a Nixon RBI double. Here's the 0-1. Too low to the inside to even us up at 1 across the board. thing that we noticed too at home, the dugout for New Waverly was really alive. We hadn't seen that versus Onalaska, and they have that same attitude here tonight. Here is the 1-1. Fouled off the bat into the high backstop here, and the count at 1-2. I would say that there's about a, easily about a 7 to 8 foot drop here from where we're sitting down to the ground. The count 1-2 here on action. Jackson, Gill trying to work out of it. Here's the pitch. Hard hit. This one should drop over to Bialis at center, and it does, and no opportunity for Trudersky to advance to second. So we are 2 away on the pop-up over to center. Trudersky remains running for Tomczak over at first, and fifth in the order will bring in the center fielder, Otto Wineland. Wineland also scoring back on Tuesday as he singled a couple of stolen bases. Showing bunt here, and he can place those bunts beautifully. Now Trudersky gets away from first, and he may get caught up here as he's running back and forth. Back and forth he goes, and he is tagged out. And Trudersky thrown out, and that will do it for the third and final out. And a tough break there for New Waverly. He was just off of it. And so 1 run comes for New Waverly. That 1 run comes on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We're through half an inning, and it's just getting started here on a Friday night. New Waverly Bulldog baseball continues on SHN. Stay with us. Peyton Rayleigh getting those warm-up pitches now on the bump for New Waverly, and the defense will try to hold Anderson-Shiro at bay. New Waverly's offense taking care of business out of the gate. 1 run. They scored 5 on Tuesday, but they'll take the 1 here to get started. And now, again, the New Waverly defense out there on the field. Peyton Rayleigh pitching tonight. The catcher behind home, Max Tomczak, and there goes my papers. Do you mind grabbing those for me, Tate? The one moment I raise my hand up, the gust of wind comes.
Number 7, Kieran Gill.
Oh, appreciate it, Tate. Thank you. I mean, literally the one time I raise my hand. And so here we go. A little conversation there. Tomahawk Tomczak up at the bump, talking it over with Rayleigh. Action Jackson Hathorn over at first. Colin Kahn over at second. Jace Wells over at third. Here's the first pitch. Bounces up and ricochets into him. And a bruiser, a leadoff bruiser for Kieran Gill. And a tough break there for Peyton Rayleigh. That one was well in front of the plate. Gill will have a runner come in for him. it brings up Davin Bialis. Here's the first pitch to Bialis. It gets under Tomczak. And Gill will advance over to second. Bialis 1-0. The center fielder here for Anderson-Shiro. Pitch on the way, and I believe it got that corner. It did. The count at 1-1. Corner strike called. 1-1 count on Bialis. Here's the next pitch. Curveball here, this time too far to the outside to take us to 2-1. Here's the next pitch. And I guess it was, boy, the way this ump is calling those. A while ago he did that. He said it was a strike. He did the same thing again here, and it was a ball. So he'll reach on a walk. So it was actually a 3-0 and then a 4-0 count. Bialis over at first, Gill to second, and that'll bring up third in the order, Aiden Moyers.
Out to plate number 3, Aiden Moyers.
I think what's happening is he's showing hand signals down there, and it's throwing off a couple of people, including me and the guy upstairs. So no outs here. We are in the bottom of the first, and Anderson-Shiro has 2 on at 1-2. Third in the order again, Aiden Moyers. Here's Rayleigh's delivery. High upstairs, and a 1-0 count. Here's the 1-0. Curve and just to the outside, it's 2-0. And coach is going to take a quick timeout here. Coach Aaron Compton. Well, we'll take this moment while Compton is having a brief discussion up there on the mound to thank some more of our great supporters. We appreciate G3 Baseball, Give God Glory, a youth baseball organization out of Huntsville in the area that was started back in 2022 by local families, the Nunez families and others, who wanted a team that always puts glorifying God first and how players compete, practice, and act on and off the field. They have teams in many age groups from 8U all the way up to 16U that play in local leagues, regional tournaments, state tournaments, even out-of-state tournaments, focusing on developing baseball skills, character, teamwork, and faith. If you want to see more about what they're doing, search for them on Facebook, G3 and a hyphen, that hyphen right next to the 3. There's another one out there at the space, G3 Give God Glory Baseball on Facebook. That pitch in there for a strike, and that may be what Rayleigh needs to get some momentum going. The count now at 2-1. His first strike thrown of this game. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, this one hard hit over to left. Nixon trying to chase it down. He won't get there. That'll score at least 1. And that is an RBI stand-up double for Aiden Moyers. Gill will come in to score. Bialis is over to third. And now cleaning up Logan Jackson, no outs. So we are tied now, 1 apiece.
Now batting number 17, Logan Jackson.
Logan Jackson, a left-handed batter for the Fighting Owls. And here's the first pitch to him. Good pitch right there on the edge for the strike. It's 0-1. Second strike thrown in 10 pitches here by Peyton Rayleigh. Here's the next delivery. A little high upstairs to even it at 1-1. Here's a 1-1 offer. Just to the outside. Jackson ahead at 2-1. Next pitch. Low to the outside to take us to 3-1. As runners remain on 2 and 3 for Anderson-Shiro. We're tied up at 1 apiece. Now the 3-1. Called strike will take us to a full count. Here's the payoff pitch. Fouled this one into the backstop. The bat will stay alive for Logan Jackson. Here's the 3-2 again. This one right up the middle, and that will score 1 and score 2. So a 2 RBI single puts Anderson-Shiro ahead 3-1. Bialis comes in from third. Moyers around from second.
Now batting number 12, Dakota Wisniewski.
And the stakes are cooking here for Anderson-Shiro, leading 3-1, no outs here in the bottom of the first. It's just count again. 3-1 is the score right now, and we've got a little bit of time here over at third as the I guess the base is getting taken a look at. So Logan Jackson a few moments ago. Again, a 2 RBI single, and that's how we got to this 3-1 score here. And Dakota Wisniewski out now. The first pitch in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Still no outs, bottom of the first. And I'm sorry, I got the scoreboard kind of messed up here. Next pitch, also in there for a strike. It's 0-2. Here's the next pitch. Ooh, high upstairs, had to do a little duckarooski. And 1 ball and 2 strikes on Dakota Wisniewski. Here in the bottom of the first, 20th pitch on the way, pulled back on this one, and I guess they're going to say it hit him. So Wisniewski will now reach on a hit by pitch, and Coach Compton going to have a quick discussion here. That'll advance Jackson over to second, Wisniewski at first. Well, we get over here usually about an hour and a half, try to get here at least an hour and a half early, and appreciate these coaches and appreciate Ty. He always runs down there, gets the lineup about 6:15, so it gives me adequate time to get my charts filled out. And it always helps, too, when you've got these schools and these coaches, and that's why these two teams play at such a high level. You look at even the smallest of things like the lineups, and when you see the way these coaches put these lineups together, they pay attention to every single detail. They're not just rushed on these. You look at that, and that's why you got 2 really good teams here in 23-3A.
Number 5, Ty Steffen.
So bring up the shortstop, Ty Steffen, still looking for that first out here for New Waverly, and it's a 3-1 lead for Anderson. Here's the next pitch, high upstairs and to the outside. The count at 1-0. So now runners on 1 and 2. Here's the pitch. Places bunt late, and a beautifully placed bunt will load the bases at 1, 2, and 3. So Jackson is now over to third. Wisniewski to second, Steffen over at first. So he singles to first, and already 3 hits here in this opening frame. Compton having another chat here with his infield. Head over to the Stut Man real quick. I'll bring Ty into it real quick. Ty, man, you know, not the start that we were hoping for New Waverly here, but still a lot of baseball to go, man.
You know, we played these guys not that long ago. We just have to go back to what worked. And right now they're having a talk with the pitcher. That's where the defense starts, you know? Mm-hmm. And, you know, you just got to get balls in the zone.
There's only one change here tonight. But we don't want to bring him up.
No. Old Nate over there.
Nate Tate. It's like when they say, like, a broadcaster's jinx. I don't believe in any of that stuff. And so after the discussion,
Hunter Heaton.
We'll get back at it here. Hunter Heaton now with an opportunity. No outs. 22 pitches thrown already here by Peyton Rayleigh. Here's the first one on the way to Heaton. The heat was there, but it was too far to the outside, a 1-0 count. Here's the next pitch. Swung on. This one well up into the air. Runners will not be able to advance. An infield fly, and that one lands right into the glove of Jace Card. Boy, if New Waverly can find a way to work out of this, this would be great. And finally one away here. Good grab by Card out there over at short. It brings up Dalton Shashelski.
Heat retired infield fly rule. Now batting number 10, Dalton Shashelski.
So the infield fly there, hauled down. Here's the first pitch on the way. Shashelski, called strike, good pitch. It's 0-1. Next pitch to the outside to even us at 1-1. To the outside, 2-1. Next one here at 2-2. Here's the next pitch. And take us to a full count at 3-2. Here's the payoff. Hard hit over to left. That's going to score at least one. Another RBI single, and the stakes cooking for the Fighting Owls here tonight, leading 4-1. That will bring in Jackson. Bases remain loaded as Wisniewski over to third, Steffen to second, and Shashelski on the RBI single. And it's 4-1. And now Brandon Berger makes his way. And new pitcher out there for New Waverly as Jace Card getting the warm-up pitches. We'll take a break with them. New Waverly trails 4-1. And we'll be back in a moment. Just one out here in the bottom of the first. This is New Waverly Bulldog Baseball on SHN. First pitch there from Jace Card to the outside is a strike, 0-1. So Peyton Rayleigh goes 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, walk to 1. Here's the next pitch by Card, curve to the outside to even us at 1-1. We'll update everything here in a few moments. As Peyton Rayleigh will move over to third now from the bump. Colin Conover is at short, and Jace Wells replaces Conover at second. So that is how things shift around. Here's the next pitch. This one swung up just over the third base bag as it takes a hop. 2 more runs will come in and score. And an RBI double. Wisniewski will come around and score. Stefan comes around and scores.
Now batting, number 7.
Shaselski over to second, and we have batted around as we'll go back to the top. Kieran Gill. It's 1 run for New Waverly, 6 here for Anderson-Shiro. Kieran Gill. First pitch, he was hit, and that's how he got on, and then he came around and scored on that Moyers RBI double. First pitch to the outside, a 1-0 count. Card keeping an eye over at second. Here's the next pitch. Right in the zone, good changeup for the strike. It's 1-1. Here's the next pitch. This one chopped up over to first, and a little flip and dip. Card will tag the first base bag for the second out. Good work there from Wells. Or beg your pardon, Hathorn over to Card.
Gill's retired on the fielder's choice to first. Runners move up to second and third. Now batting, number 1, Davin Bialis.
So Shaselski over to third, Berger to second, and Gill is out for the second out. This one rolls at third. The throw to first is in plenty of time. And finally 3 away, but a lot of damage done here. Good play by Rayleigh over to Hathorn, by the way. Give him credit. A routine 5-3 grounder, but 6 runs scoring for the Owls. They get those 6 runs on 5 hits, no errors. 2 left on, and that is how things look there for the first inning. Second inning coming up, and we'll have it for you here on SHN. We'll see how New Waverly responds. They got 1 to start this ball game. They trail by 5. A lot of baseball left. We'll be back in a moment here on SHN. All right, friends, we'll get started here. 5, 6, and 7 for New Waverly. It's Otto Wineland, the center fielder. Gill getting set to deliver here. New Waverly trails 6-1 as we get underway in the top of the second. Here's the pitch. Strike right across the plate. It's an early 0-1 count. Talk about more of our great sponsors. Monta's Tactical Supply coming up. Texas Signature Roofing. Karen Hybner of My Community Mortgage. Appreciate her. Robert Lindeman of HITTSS Solutions. A lot of great folks that help us make this broadcast coverage possible. Next one to the outside. It's a 1-1 count. Here's the next pitch. Dropped in the zone for a strike. Beautiful pitch. Give that young man credit. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. High to the outside. Nobody was on. It ricochets off the backstop to even us up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. Low in the dirt and a good eye to even us up or take us to a full count now. Here's the payoff and a swing and a miss, and got him for the first out. Tough break there for Otto Wineland. 6 in the order, the left fielder, Daniel Nixon. Daniel had the RBI double on Tuesday. Came in and scored a run on a Ryzen Nunez RBI single. That was the 5th run in that opening frame just a few days ago. First pitch out of his reach. It's 1-0 early count here on Daniel Nixon. Here's the next pitch. Low to the inside as he kicks the dirt away. Take us to 2-0. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-1. And now the 2-1. This one grounded over to second, and a throw in time, and a routine play from Hunter Heaton to Logan Jackson for the second out. It's 2 up, 2 down, brings up 7th in the order, the third baseman, Jace Wells. Jace started out at third. He has since moved over to second.
Nixon is retired at first. Now batting number 13, Jace Wells.
First pitch in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-2. Here is the 0-2 pitch. And got him looking. It's a 1-2-3 kind of inning for Karen Gill and Anderson-Shiro. 3 up, 3 down. And no runs, hits, errors. Of course, nobody left on. And friends, we are through 1.5, bottom of the second. Coming up when we come back, it's New Waverly Bulldog Baseball live tonight on SHN. Welcome back, friends. We get started here for New Waverly. Jace Card will lead him back out after he came in after 1/3 pitch by Peyton Rayleigh. And Anderson-Shiro put up 6 in the bottom of the first to start this ball game.
Leading off the bottom of the second for the Owls, number 3, Aiden
They did
Moyers.
bat around, and we'll go 3, 4, and 5. Aiden Moyers, followed by Logan Jackson and Dakota Wisniewski. As we get this one started here. Jace Card's pitch on the way, dropped in there. Beautiful pitch for the strike on Moyers. It's 0-1. Here's the next pitch. It's a good pitch, but saying it was just out of there, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. This time, corner strike. Pulled out the paintbrush to make it 1-2. Card takes a deep breath. Now the delivery. This one swung on, fouled into the net. The count remains 1-2. Here's Card's pitch. High upstairs to the outside to even us at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 offering. And hit him. Just there on the wrist.
Moyers hit by the pitch. Now batting, number 17, Logan Jackson.
No, it wasn't a hit by pitch. I think he said he swung. He said he swung, I thought, so he's out. Yeah, they said that he swung. And so he did get him out. So 1 away brings up Logan Jackson. It was a good check by the umpire over the first plate umpire. So here on Jackson, 1-0. Card set to deliver. Corner strike to even us at 1-1. One's across the board. Card's right-handed delivery. Corner strike again. Beautiful pitching here from Jace Card to bring it to 1-2. Here's the next pitch. A little inchworm action there to even us at 2-2. Right at the belt line. And now the 2-2. Got him looking for the second out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Jace Card. And 2 up, 2 down will bring up 5th in the order, Dakota Wisniewski.
Moyers was declared out swinging at the hit by pitch. Now batting, number 12, Dakota Wisniewski.
This one curving to the outside. It's 1-0. Next pitch. The ball and a strike. And now the 1-1. Dropped in. Another beautiful strike from Jace Card. Takes us to 1-2. And now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back-to-back strikeouts for Jace Card. And that will retire the side as we'll take a break. We're through 2, top of the 3rd, coming up when we come back here on SHN.
6-1, Anderson.
Welcome back at it, friends, and we continue on to Waverly Bulldog Baseball live tonight on SHN. Thanks for hanging out with us here from Anderson-Shiro High School. As we are through two, top of the third coming up. New Waverly trails 6-1, but a great performance by Jace Card in that previous inning. 3 strikeouts in a row. So not allowing any more runs, and New Waverly's offense will try to respond here and give some life back to New Waverly. We give a big shout out as well to HITTSS Tactical Supply in New Waverly, a locally owned outdoor sporting goods and firearm store serving families across Walker County. Whether you enjoy hunting, spending time outdoors, or looking for products designed to keep your home, your family, and yourself safe, their team is committed to knowledgeable service and quality equipment. HITTSS Tactical Supply proudly supporting New Waverly and the local community.
Number 3,
you can learn more about their
Nunez.
products and store information online at HITTSTacticalSupply.com. So we'll go 8, 9, and 1. Ryzen Nunez to get started here for the Bulldogs. Kieran Gill pitching to him. It was 3 up, 3 down for Gill. And a high one to the outside, 1-0. Gill that last inning struck out Wineland on a payoff, grounded one to second on Nixon, and then struck out Wells looking on a 0-2. Nunez currently ahead here. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one swung on, fouled off the top of the net to even us up at a ball and a strike. So a 1-1 count here, top of the third. New Waverly trails 6-1. Nunez taps the bat down on the plate. It's set to deliver. And here's the pitch. This one swung on and hops off the third base line, foul to take us to 1-2. Here's the 1-2. This one swung on, fouled as well as it takes a roll over to the New Waverly dugout. Nunez staying alive here for the Bulldogs. Again, we are underway, top of the third, trailing 6-1, 1-2, no outs, nobody on. Gill pitching for Anderson-Shiro on his 33rd pitch. Nunez swinging and stays alive as this one fouls off the first base side. The count remains 1-2. Gill's 1-2 delivery. Swung on, takes a hop off the third base side, and Nunez continues to battle here. A little bit of time here by Ryzen as he adjusts his helmet and steps back in. He's ready for the delivery. Gill with the 1-2 offering on his 35th pitch of the night. And here it is. High up to even us at 2-2. Here's the pitch. This one swung on hard, foul off the third base side. Tell you what, Nunez battling here for New Waverly, staying alive. Now the 2-2. Fouled, continues on. Coach Compton fired up for his player out there, cheering him on. He had about 6 or 7 thrown to him. No outs. New Waverly trails 6-1, top of the third, 2-2 count, Ryzen Nunez. Here's Gill's delivery. Swing and a miss, but it gets away from the catcher. He'll have to throw it in time. And I believe he does, barely. So a strikeout, but the drop, he had to throw it over to first. And got him for the first out. Good effort there by Ryzen Nunez. Credit the young man for his effort. Go to the bottom of the order. It's the starting pitcher, Peyton Rayleigh. Rayleigh has since moved over for New Waverly over to third base. His first time at the plate tonight. Here's the pitch to him. To the inside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. To the outside to take us 2-0. Now the 2-0. High to the outside. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 away. 41 toss so far from Gill. We're still here in the third. Next pitch across the plate for a strike, 3-1. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, fouled into the net. 3-2, full count. Felt a couple of sprinkles out here. Here's the 3-2. Got him looking, gets away from the catcher, and another one of these throws, and he's out over there again. The strikeout looking, but the catcher still had to make the throw over to first for the second out.
Rayleigh strikes out, bringing up Conover.
Take us back to the top to Colin Conover, 0 for 1. Struck out looking on a 1-2 for the first out to start this ball game back in the first. Here's the pitch to him. Just out of the reach, 1-0. Just whatever sprinkles are happening, they're not enough to show up on the radar. And it's not much. Now the 1-0. Swung on, takes a hop over at third. Good field work. Moyers the throw to first in time. And a 1-2-3 kind of inning, although it took a little while. On a 5-3 for the third and final out. We can sustain a few drops, but if it gets to be a lot more, we're going to have to pack this up here. Umpires are talking for a moment. Well, there's not enough to stop the game.
Bulldogs are retired in order.
Just a few little drops falling from the sky, but nothing too bad. As long as it doesn't get heavy, we'll be all right. We're out here in the open tonight. The equipment can handle a few drops. Ty over there's got the camera covered up with his jacket.
Oh, shoot. Hey, guys.
Warm-up pitches out there for Jace Card. We're about to get underway here in the bottom of the third inning. Thanks for hanging out with us here tonight on SHN Sports. I'm Rob Hipp. Give a shout out to Texas Signature Roofing when it comes to protecting your home. Trust matters, and that's why homeowners across our area choose Texas Signature Roofing. They are locally owned and operated, and I want to remind you that your roof is your home's first line of defense. Their team will walk you through every option to find the right solution for your needs. A commitment to 100% customer satisfaction continues after the service is done. You can visit them online at texassignatureroofing.com. Appreciate the Hathorns, Jared Hathorn, and Texas Signature Roofing. Next pitch on the way, and this one is a base hit as it rolls down the third base line over to left. And a leadoff single for Ty Steffen.
Now batting number 4, Hunter Heaton.
Bring up Hunter Heaton now, batting 7th in the order. Pitch on the way to the outside. It's 1-0. One-0 count. Runner on one for Anderson-Shiro, leading 6-1 here in the bottom of the third. The next pitch to the outside as well to take us 2-0. Here's the 2-0. Swung, fouled into the back of the net. Take us to 2 balls and a strike, Hunter Heaton. Time is called as Heaton will step out for just a moment. Again, that count at 2-1, 46. I beg your pardon, 26 pitches thrown here by Jace Card, who came in for Peyton Rayleigh after the first out of the first inning. Next one too close in, 3-1. Here's the pitch. This one, base hit out to right center. And he's going to try to round over to second, and he'll come right around. So runners on 2 and 3 for Anderson-Shiro, no outs. And a double on its way for Hunter Heaton. That will advance Steffen over to third.
Heaton singles to right center and takes second on the throw to third. Now batting the catcher, Dalton Shashelski.
Brings up Dalton Shashelski. Here's the pitch. Close to the inside, 1-0. Here's the next pitch. Swung on late, foul off the first base line. No opportunity there for Axon Jackson to make the grab. The count evens up at 1-1. Appreciate Easton Drawdy joining us. Good to hear from you. The Brett boys on. And also Ty Ramey on our YouTube feed. Here's the 1-1. Another one of the outside, 2-1. Here's the next pitch. This one low. Takes us to 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 3-1. A base hit out to left center. That should score 1, possibly 2. Runners will round over third, coming in home, and yes, it will. It's a 2 RBI single. 8 runs on the board for Anderson-Shiro. Steffen comes in. Eaton comes in. And Krzyzewski with the 2 RBI single will bring up Brandon Berger.
Right fielder, Braden Berger.
Swing and a miss. 0-1. Good pitch there by Jace Card. Berger, 1 for 1. Had the 2 RBI single back in the first. Bottom of the third we are. Anderson with an 8-1 advantage. Card for New Waverly. Quick throw over to first to Hathorn, keeping him honest. He's safe. Here's the pitch. Swung on, another one hit, this time over to center. Berger will single. That will advance Krzyzewski over to second. And we'll go back to the top, Kieran Gill.
Now at the plate, number 7, Kieran Gill.
So no outs here in the bottom of the third. Runners on 1 and 2. Here's the first pitch to Gill. And this one over to right. And runner will try to come home and score, and he will. Runners on the hot corners. Gill will bring in 1, so an RBI single brings in Krzyzewski. Berger over to third, and Anderson-Shiro putting on the clinic here in the bottom of the third. 3 more runs makes it 9-1.
Number 1, Davin Bialis.
And again, still no outs here in the bottom of this inning.
Courtesy runner on first, Hank Harity.
Hank Harity will run over there at first for Gill. Davin Bialis set to bat here for Anderson-Shiro at the plate. Runners on 1 and 3 for the Fighting Owls, leading 9-1 here in the bottom of the third. No outs. The 37th pitch on the way momentarily for Jace Card. And here it is. Strike is called. A throw from the catcher over, and the runner is out trying to steal over to second. So a good job there by Tomczak.
Harry's caught stealing for the first out of the inning.
So Hardy running for Gill is caught stealing out. Berger remains over at third, so that'll clear one off, and we are one away. Corner in here for Bialis. And that one to the outside, so the count's at 1-1. Here's the next pitch. Curve to the out, and good job by Tomczak to get behind it. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Another curve to the outside to take us to 3-1. And now the 3-1. A little high up. Ball ricocheting off of a couple of guys over there. Tomczak, it kind of hit his hand. Looks like he'll be all right. But Bialis reaching on a walk.
Plate, number 3, Aiden Moyers.
That'll bring up third in the order. Number 3, Aiden Moyers. Moyers 1 for 2. Had the RBI double back in the first and then struck out swinging for the first out on a 2-2 pitch in the second. Here's the first pitch. Hard hit over to center. Wineland should be able to get under this one. No, they lost direction of it. They lost it up in the air. Wineland was there alongside Nixon, and some confusion let it drop at left center. And so Berger will come in and score.
Moyers doubles to center, bringing up Logan Jackson.
Moyers with the RBI double. Bialis over to third. And it's 10-1, Anderson-Shiro. First pitch to Logan Jackson, called strike, 0-1. Here's the next pitch. This one hit over, grounded to second, the throw to first in time, but another run does come and score.
Bialis scores on the Jackson sacrifice. Now at the plate, number 12.
Jackson with the sacrifice brings in Bialis. Moyer over to third, and it's 11-1 Anderson-Shiro. The run rule would be in effect now at the 5th inning. That'll bring up Dakota Wisniewski. He is the last one in this inning to bat, and if he can pull through, then he'll bat around. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Wisniewski, by the way, did strike out swinging. It was part of that 3-in-a-row strikeouts by Jace Card back in the 2nd inning. Here's the next pitch. High to the outside to even us at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 as he swings around, 1-2. And I guess that was already the third out as well. I must have missed one. I beg your pardon.
Wisniewski strikes out.
So he strikes out,
swinging. 5 in the bottom of the 3rd.
But Anderson-Shiro
putting
up 5 runs. Those 5 runs coming on.
Down road 244. And with the Strait of Hormuz open, those gas prices are coming on down. So come on out to Imbos for live crawfish.
And 1 left on. So again, 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 1 left on. It's 11-1. Anderson-Shiro with the lead as we go to the top of the 4th. Stay with us. More to come. It's New Waverly Bulldog Baseball on SHN. Welcome back at it, friends. New Waverly batting coming up. It'll go 2, 3, and 4. Jace Card, Max Tomzak, and Jackson Hathorn. Before we get to them, though, I want to thank more of our sponsors, our great friend Karen Hybner of the Jolly Godfrey team. Your home, your loan, your terms. Local Texas mortgage broker with access over 70 lenders, so you don't have to settle. If you're a first-time buyer, maybe you have a credit challenge, or self-employed, she's got solutions tailored just for you. It's Karen Hybner. We appreciate her from the Jolly Godfrey team. You can email her, Karen@mychomeloans.com. Again, it's Karen@mychomeloans.com. Karen Hybner, the Jolly Godfrey team, proudly supporting New Waverly Bulldog baseball. Go Dogs! Thank you, Karen, for your generous support and helping us to make this coverage possible. Those support funds go to pay my babysitter when my wife is nursing. She works long shifts at Creekside, and it also helps to cover our cost of our satellite internet. So thank you for the support. It absolutely helps
Leading up top of the fourth,
and allows us
12,
to
Jace
broadcast
Card.
these young men. Again, Jace Card will lead off here. He's 1 for 1, singled, eventually came around and scored on the Tomzak RBI single, the one mark that is on the board right now for New Waverly. Here's the first pitch on the way. High to the outside, and a good eye by Card will take him to 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Far to the outside again, 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the fourth we are. New Waverly trails 11-1. This one fouled into the net. 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Right in there for a strike. Good pitch. 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Swung on. This one off the first base side. The throw to first. Not there in time. It was going to be a hard one. And how about it for Jace Card after a few pitches gets the leadoff single. It was rolling right there on the baseline. And, boy, I hope they don't bring him back. They may. Compton going to have a call. They're going to call interference here. Goodness. So 1 away for New Waverly as the interference is called. He does not get over there to first. So a tough break for New Waverly. Goes to Max Tomzak, far to the outside, 1-0 count. Goodness. Here's the 1-0. High upstairs, good eye by Max Tomzak. Next one to the out. It's 3-0. Again, 3-0, one away. Top of the fourth we are. Anderson leading New Waverly. New Waverly at bat, trailing 11-1. Here's the 3-0 to the outside. Now we'll get that walk by Tomczak. So he'll reach on a walk. And for the first time tonight, New Waverly on base from a walk. And
Tomczak draws a walk.
Trevor
Now,
Trudersky
number
will come
Jackson
in to
Hopper.
run for Max Tomczak. Tomczak, remember, was out for the third out as he was trying to steal over to second. Just kind of got left out there and tagged out. Just got to get on. New Waverly does there. 1 out walk. And it brings up action Jackson Hathorn. This one high and on a wild pitch. Trudersky will advance over to second. 1-0 count on action Jackson. Here's the 1-0. Right there at the chin line. 2-0. Gale keeping an eye over at second. Here's the pitch. That one called strike right in the zone. 2-1. Now the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Trudersky trying to get over to third. He'll get there, and he may be able to run this one home, and he will. So Trudersky giving New Waverly their second run. Count here 2-2 on action Jackson. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for the second out.
Now batting number 6, Otto Wineland.
Otto Wineland. First one to him, a strike, 0-1. Otto is 0 for 1 today. Otto Wineland struck out swinging on a payoff pitch for the first out back in the second. This one here just out of the reach. It's 1-1. Ball and a strike. Gill's delivery. A little too high to the outside. Otto ahead 2-1. We got underway about 7:02. Time now is 8:20. 11-2 your score. And a bruiser, a little 2-out bruiser. As Otto Wineland was hit by the pitch, he'll reach over there to first on that hit by pitch. Brings up Daniel Nixon.
Pitch now plate number 1, Nixon.
Pitch into the net. Counted 0-1 here on Nixon. 2 away, top of the fourth, 11-2, Anderson with the lead. Here's the 0-1 swung on into the net. 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Runner's going to take off over to second. Sliding, diving, in time, yes. Stolen bait. No, they're going to say tagged out. Doggone it. I thought Wyland got there, but they're going to call him out with the tag. Tough break for New Waverly. So no runs.
Bulldogs score 1 in the top of the fourth.
I beg your pardon, 1 run. That 1 run on no hits. No errors, nobody left on. We are through 3.5, friends. The bottom of the fourth coming up. Anderson leads New Waverly 11-2. And the Fighting Owls back at bat when we come back here on SHN. Stay with us. All right, friends, back at it, leading off 6, 7, and 8 for Anderson-Shiro. It's Ty Steffen. He is 2 for 2. Here's the first pitch from Card, and it's close to him for a ball. The early count here, 1-1. Thanks for being back with us here. Big thank you to Robert Lindeman of HITTSS Solutions Player Development. If you know of someone, maybe you've got someone that wants to learn from a great man, someone who has been coaching baseball for a long time, teaches more than just the game, but how to shine off the field as well. It's Robert Lindeman, HITTSS Solutions Player Development, helping to instruct the stars to shine. You can learn more from my good friend Robert Lindeman online at HITTSS.com. That's HITTSS.com. Swing and a miss here from Ty Steffen. It's 1-1. Anderson trying to get back into that 10-run rule territory. They are leading by 9 as it stands right now. The next one a ball just out of the reach, 2-1. Next pitch, beautiful, and drops in for the strike to even us at 2-2. This one over to left. And Steffen
singles down the left field line.
With the leadoff single.
4, Hunter Heaton.
Count here at 1-0 on Hunter Heaton. No outs, bottom of the fourth, and a runner on one is Ty Steffen. Here's the 1-0. Dropped in for a strike, 1-1. And another one here to left and another single. Steffen will advance over to second and Heaton over to one.
Now batting the catcher, number 10, Dalton Shashelski.
So no outs here in the bottom of the fourth. 11-2, Anderson-Shiro leads with runners on 1 and 2. Here's Shashelski. Corner strike, good pitch by Jace Card. It's 0-1. Shashelski 2 for 2 today. Here's the next delivery to him. Another one dropped right in there for a strike. It's 0-2. Now the 0-2. This one fouled and ricocheted into the backstop. The count remains 0-2. Card keeping an eye over at second. Here's his right-handed pitch, and this one also fouled into the net. Count remains 0-2. The battle going here now for Dalton Shashelski. I want to remind you, New Waverly playoff merchandise. The shirt's already ready for sale. You can follow the New Waverly baseball page on Facebook to find out where to buy those shirts. Here's one that drops over to center. A great grab out there. I believe it was Otto Wineland for the first out. Runners will remain at 1 and 2.
Shashelski flies out center, now at the plate, number 9, Braden Berger.
Here's Braden Berger. Braden Berger today is 2 for 2 as well. We are 1 away. Runners on 1 and 2. Anderson with an 11-2 advantage. One 0 to Berger. Next one on the way as well as a ball, 2-0 count. Had to duck under this one. Runner's going to take off over to third, and he's tagged out. So the force out over third. Good job by Tom Zach. Over to Peyton Rayleigh for the second out. Trying to steal.
Steffen caught stealing at third.
So Steffen is out. Berger 2-0. The next pitch. In there for the strike. It's 2-1. Next pitch on the way. This one low in the dirt. Now runners on 1 and 2. He'll reach on a walk. So a 2-out walk for Berger. That'll force Eaton over to second. We'll go back to the top. Kieran Gill.
Now batting number 7, Kieran Gill.
Here's the pitch. Too close to the inside. A ball here to Gill to start things for his at-bat. Next pitch to Gill. And Tomzak got a little nick on the hand there, possibly from the ball or the bat. That's a tough dude out there for New Waverly. Coach Comp may come out and say hello to him and check on him for a moment. A little stinger there on the index finger. Compton checks on him. Everything's okay, and he'll get back into playing. Count to Gill is 1-1, 2 away. Runners remain on 1 and 2. Card getting set to deliver. Lifts up the left leg. Right-handed pitch on the way to the outside. It's 2-1. Here's the next pitch. Swung around and missed to even us up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight here on SHN. It's always fun to be here on a Friday night, beautiful Friday night. Cold front moving into the area too. It's going to drop about 20 degrees overnight. Tomorrow a nice day. And got him looking for the 3rd and final out. How about that? And so Jace Card gets his 5th strikeout. No runs in that inning.
Called strike 3. The Owls leave 2 men on base.
2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. And we are through 4. Top of the 5th coming up. Stay with us. More to come here on SHN. It's New Waverly Bulldog Baseball. This one's not over, folks. Stay with us. All right, friends, back at it. New Waverly back to bat here, and we'll start with Jace Wells. The bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9. Here's the first pitch on the way to Wells. High upstairs. It's a 1-0 count. Well, it's only his second time here at bat tonight. He is 0 for 1, struck out looking for the third out on an 0-2 back in the second. So we're just underway here in the top of the fifth. New Waverly trails Anderson-Shiro 11-2. Here's the next pitch. This one fouled into the net. It's 1-1. A lot happening throughout the area tomorrow in Huntsville. The annual Junkapalooza from Huntsville Main Street taking place. We'll be out there with us with Spirit Radio. This one, grounder over to second. Should be a pretty routine play, and it is for the first out. Heaton to Jackson on the ground out over to second. We are one away, brings up Ryzen Nunez.
Wells grounds out second. Now to plate number 3, Ryzen Nunez.
Ryzen 0 for 1 today. Struck out swinging, but the catcher dropped it, so he was put out over at first. For the first out back in the third. Here's the first pitch to him. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. .70 tosses so far by Gill. Here's his 71st from the left hand. Bounces, ricochets around, and a ball. It's 1-1. Here's the next one. Across the plate for a strike, 1-2. Here's a 1-2 high up there, and luckily nobody on for Anderson-Shiro. If New Waverly had a few on or a couple on, they could have advanced. Even us up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here, Ryzen Nunez. We are one away, top of the fifth. Anderson with an 11-2 advantage. Another one thrown, balls it. Pops off Shashelski's glove, takes us to a full count. Here's the payoff. Swing around and a miss for Ryzen Nunez. Tough break for that young man. Great kid on this team, great young man on this team. And I always say the all-around athlete. Baseball, plays basketball, plays football, and all three of them plays at a very high level.
Now batting number 11, Peyton Rayleigh.
So we are 2 away. We'll go back to Peyton Rayleigh. Here at the bottom of the order, Rayleigh is 0 for 1. Struck out looking on a payoff pitch for the second out, back in third, and then catcher dropped it, and so he was out over at first. Here's the first pitch to him. That one in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Next pitch. Bounced there, and part of that one got the catcher. Tough one. May have got him down just above the chest. There's another great tough kid down there, Shashelski. Coach is going to come out and make sure everything's okay with him. You wear that guard and a helmet, but sometimes those can still find their way into spaces that you don't want them to find, and that time it got him just right above the chest and right under the mask. The trainer's out there taking a quick look at him. She checked him out, and he's fine. Heard the mom out there. He kind of leaned backwards. She said, "Don't do that to me." And so he's okay. 1-1's the count. So we'll get back into it here. Peyton Rayleigh on 1-1. 2 away, top of the 5th. New Waverly trails 11-2. Gill set to deliver. Here's the pitch. Close to the inside. It's 2-1. New Waverly still alive here in this one as they had that run earlier to get us back to 9 instead of 10 because the 10-run rule would have taken effect. Here's another pitch to the outside, and that was Twardowski running in and getting that second mark in the previous inning. 3-1. Chance for a 2-out walk here for Peyton Rayleigh. Try to start a little rally for New Waverly. Gill set to deliver. Here's the pitch. Swung on into the net. Takes us to a full count. Now the 3-2. High upstairs and a 2-out walk for Peyton Rayleigh. And it's only the second walk of the evening for Kieran Gill. That'll take us back to the top to Colin Conover.
Rayleigh walks, bringing up number 5. Colin Conover.
Here's the pitch. Said it was high, 1-0. Gill's next delivery. Another one high to the outside, 2-0. That pitch to the inside. The count now at 3-0. New Waverly with 1 on, 2 outs, trailing 11-2 here in the top of the 5th. Gill's next pitch is on the way, dropped in for a strike. It's now 3-1. Here's the pitch to the outside. And it's another 2-out walk with runners now on 1 and 2. Rayleigh over to second, Con over to first.
Conover draws a walk. Number 12 at the plate.
Brings up Jace Card. Card called with that interference for the first out back in the 4th, and then singled, came around and eventually scored on the Max Tomzak RBI single in the 1st. Little infield discussion. Soshelski up there talking to Gill at the mound, and also his second baseman Hunter Heaton came in to have a word with him. They'll head back to their proper areas, and we'll get this thing rolling here. Again, 2 outs for New Waverly. Runners now on 1 and 2 after back-to-back walks. Trying to dig into this 11-2 deficit and keep this game alive. Swing and a miss for Jace Card. It's 0-1. Next pitch on the way. Dropped in for a strike, 0-2. Gill trying to get out of this one here. 2 away. Here's his pitch. Just out of the zone, and a good eye by Jace Card. 1-2. Runners remain on 1-2. Peyton Rayleigh, who reached on the walk, and then Colin Conover. They'd love for Jace to advance him here. Gill's 1-2 pitch on the way. Runners will take off. And was not able to beat that one out. It was a good effort there by Jace Card, but he is out. 4-3 for the third and final out. So no runs, hits, errors, 2 left on. We're through 4.5, the bottom of the 5th coming up. Stay with us here on SHN. We'll get back into it here, friends, in the bottom of the 5th. Anderson-Shiro an 11-2 advantage and run to lock it in tonight. New Waverly's got other plans, though. Even though they're down, they're still fighting and battling. It'll bring up Davin Bialis to start 2, 3, and 4 in the first pitch in the zone by Card for a strike. Good pitch there for Jace to start this one. And the early count here in the bottom of the 5th, it's 0-1. Here's the next delivery quickly. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Card did have that 1-2-3 inning back in the second. Struck out 3 in a row. Here's the next pitch. Got him! 3 pitches and a strikeout to start here in the bottom of the 5th.
Bialis strikes out. Now at the plate, number 3. Aiden Moyers.
Bring up Aiden Moyers. Moyers 2 for 3 today. Had the RBI double back in the third. Struck out swinging for the first out in the second. And a 2 RBI double back in the first. First pitch to the outside. It's 1-0. Here's the next pitch. Payne in the corner for a strike. One's across the board. Here's the next delivery. Swing and a miss. Here's the 1-2. Some fouled into the screen. Here's the pitch to the outside to even us up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 11-2, Anderson leads, bottom of the 5th, 1 on. I beg your pardon, nobody on, 1 away. And here's the 2-2. Hard hit foul off the third base line. Ricochets off the fence. Count remains at 2-2. It's a great setup over here at this ballpark. There's room for folks to sit in front of the fence off of that third base side. Also up high here, about 8 to 9 feet is the wall where it drops down to the ground. Here's the 2-2 to the outside, take us to a full count. Here's the pitch. This one chopped foul off the third base line, and his battle stay alive. Here's the payoff. And he'll reach on a walk, and Coach Compton going to have a chat here with Jace Card up on the bump. So a 1-out walk by Aiden Moyers. I think we'll have a pitching change for New Waverly. We'll have that for you when we come back. Stay with us. More to come. It's New Waverly Bulldog Baseball live tonight here in Anderson, Texas, trailing the Anderson-Shiro Fighting Owls 11-2. That'll do it for Jace Carter. We'll be back in a moment. All right, Logan Jackson out to bat here for Anderson-Shiro. Camden Allred's first pitch is on the way. And it's out of his reach, a 1-0 here from Allred. Next pitch on the way, this one in the dirt, takes a hop. Good job by Tom Zach getting behind it, 2-0. Here's the 2-0. In the zone for the strike, 2-1. Swing and a miss. Take us to 2-2. And he'll reach on a walk. So now runners on 1 and 2.
Jackson draws a walk. Pinch hitter number 16, Braden Bastos.
Braden Bastos in now for Anderson-Shiro. Here's the first pitch to him. This one should drop over at right. It does, right in front of Nunez. Would have been a hard one, and sliding and diving. The base runner is out over at second. Runners at the hot corners at 1 and 3. So Moyers over to third.
Second on a ball that drops in.
Jackson is out.
Right field.
And Bastos over to first.
Now at the plate, number 5, Ty Steffen.
2 away. And it brings up Ty Steffen. No opportunity here for a sac fly. He's got to hit something on the ground or have it drop. Here's the first pitch to him. That's to the outside, 1-0. Here's the pitch. Too high, 2-0, the early count here on Ty Steffen. Here's the next pitch. Low in the dirt, 3-0. Here's the delivery. Another one low, and that'll load the bases. Puts Bastos over at second, and Steffen reaches on a walk over to first, and we got ducks on a pond. Here's the first pitch on the way. This one hard hit over to center. It should drop to Wineland, and it does. And so that will leave them on. And a good job by New Waverly as Heaton hit that one out there for a pop-up over to center for the third and final out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 left on. We're through 5, top of the 6 coming up. Stay with us, more to come here on SHN.
Going into the top of the 6.
Welcome back at it, friends, as New Waverly still in this one, trailing 11-2. Max Tomczak will start them out here 3, 4, and 5 for your Bulldogs. And here's the first pitch to the left-handed batter. Just in there was a good pitch for the strike. It's 0-1 early here on Tomczak. Gill still out there. Here's the next delivery. His 93rd pitch. It's 1-1. Next one just out of the zone. It's getting close to that 110 pitch count. Strike here to even us at 2-2. About 10 more to go here for Gill. Here's the next one. As he swung around, he's going to have to run over to first. It got away from the catcher, and he is out. Put out over at first after a swing and a miss. One away.
Tomczak is retired at first. Now at the plate, number 7, Jackson Hawthorne.
Bring up action, Jackson Hathorn for your New Waverly Bulldogs. Here's the first pitch to him, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. He is 0 for 2. That means he is due. Here's the next pitch. Another swing and a miss, quick 0-2. Next delivery, swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 swings and misses, and we are 2 away here in the top of the 6th. 2 up, 2 down for Gill, and now he'll face Otto Wineland.
Hawthorne is retired via strikeout. At the plate, number 6, Otto Wineland.
Gill has about 12 more pitches left before he hits 110. My mouth was off a little bit ago. The first one is low in the dirt here, 1-0 on Wineland. Here's the pitch. Oof, that one hit him on the thigh. And he'll have a 2-out bruiser over to first.
Wineland is hit by the pitch. Now at the plate, number 1, Daniel Nixon.
Bring up the left fielder, Daniel Nixon. Nixon 0 for 2 today. He is also due. 2 outs. New Waverly trails 11-2 here in the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch. High upstairs, a ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch. Here on the pass ball, New Waverly able to advance over to second. It's Wineland. And the count's 2-0 on Nixon. 1-0-2 is the count. 8 left here for Gill. Here's the pitch. Woo. That one almost hitting Nixon as well. 3-0. Here's the pitch. Gets up under this one, a grounder over to second. Trying to beat it out. Did he get there in time? He is safe. Wineland over to third. Nixon to first. And a two-out single. The New Waverly has runners on the hot corners at 1 and 3. And they may go ahead and pull Gill here at 103. He had 7 more to 110, and that will do it for Gill. We'll have a pitch and change. We'll have it for you when we come back. More to come. This is New Waverly Bulldogs baseball on SHN. Stay with us. Camden Allred to start it off here for New Waverly. Here in the top of the 6th. Hunter Heaton now on the mound, and the first one thrown to him, a strike. Runners remain on 1 and 3, and we got a runner taken off. He's probably going to get trapped here now as New Waverly's going to try to score one at home, and they do. Rounding over to second, trying to dive down to third. Run comes in and scores. And so New Waverly gets the 1 mark, but the third and final out.
Another strange sequence. The run does score before the runner is put out at third, ending the top half of the 6th.
So 1 run for New Waverly, 1 run coming on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We get 1 more mark, trailing 11-3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. We're through 5.5. Stay with us. More to come here on SHN.
Attention, Ashland Smith, your Owls.
First pitch on the way is a strike to Dalton Krzyzewski. Next one over to short. The throw to first is in time, and a quick ground out to short. Good play out there for New Waverly. We are one away.
Now at the plate, Carter Lewis.
Carter Lewis batting here. Trying to make a play over at short, and this one will get through, and a one-out single for Carter Lewis. Take us back to the top. Kieran Gill.
Back to the plate, your leadoff batter, number 7, Kieran Gill.
We are one away. Anderson-Shiro leads New Waverly 11-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs will have 3 more outs to try to have something happen as this one hits into the back of the third base net. It's 0-1 for Kieran Gill. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, hard hit. Ricochets just off the top of the net. Thought that was about to go over, but it just dropped back down. It's 0-2. Got a very busy morning tomorrow as we're getting ready for the annual Junkapalooza in downtown Huntsville. Here's one over to center. That should be a base hit. Would have been hard for Wineland to get down on that. It was a good effort. And a little one-out double. Will advance runners over to Lewis to third.
It's a laser beam into center for a double.
And so Gill on a one-out double.
Now batting number 1, Davin Bialis.
Bring up Davin Bialis. Last time was in the 5th. He struck out looking on an 0-2 for the first out in the 5th. Runners on 2 and 3. And here's one hit foul just over the net. It's 0-1. Here's the pitch. Hard hit left. And this one should be catchable. It is. Nixon able to make the grab, but the sac fly will bring in 1 run. 12-3. So Lewis will come in and score.
Bialis with sacrifice scores 1 for the Owls. Now at the plate, number 3, Aiden Moyers.
Gill remains over at second, and here's Aiden Moyers. First one out of his reach, count 1-0. Here's the pitch. Drop low. It's 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, 13-2, Anderson with the lead. Next delivery, dropped in the zone for a strike. On a nice off speed to take us to 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Swung on late. This one drops. That should bring in and should be the game. Run will come in, and friends, that's game. 10-run rule. We'll wrap it up.
Moyers singles the center, bringing in Gill. That's the ball game. Owls
So
win
that is your game, as the
13-3.
Owls will win 13-3. Tough one for New Waverly. And as we got to get up and get rolling early tomorrow morning, we will not have any post-game wrap-up tonight. For Ty Stutler and Tate, I'm Rob Hipp, reminding you tonight that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, so please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. I promise somebody out there tonight needs you. And we will see you back on the air Tuesday as we will wrap up regular season hosting Trinity. Until then, good night and God bless. Thank you, Bulldog fans, and we'll see you next time. Have a great evening, everyone.